You know it is truly election season when we start seeing politicians take pictures with rappers. Girl, yeah, Joe, chop, real quick.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the King of Reese video. Happy Tuesday, happy whatever day this is y'all are watching this on. Oh my gosh, March has came and it's almost done, but I hope y'all are enjoying y'all day. I hope y'all week and weekend has been good. We got a couple of things to talk about in this King of Reese video, period. Baby Porsha and NeNe Leakes, don't make me call Porsha. Porsha and NeNe Leakes are into it right now. Porsha got a lot going on and I just wanted to stop. Like, it's just too much going on. I know that there's a new season being filmed for Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I'm like, girl, slow down, grab the wall. Like, what's going on? We got to talk about Nicki Minaj canceling her concert right before it was about to go on. Girl, a couple of hours before. I mean, I'm not surprised. We've been telling y'all don't want to listen. We got to talk about this rumor about Bruno Mars allegedly owing $20 million to MGM. Casino Royale team. I kind of believed it a little bit, like I did, but we're gonna talk about that. We gotta talk about the rumor about Drake allegedly dating Latto's sister. Is he not? I mean, she's light-skinned and she's young. I'm not surprised. We gotta talk about Beyonce's album cover. It is getting a lot of attention online currently, and I have thoughts about that. Well, yes, in the sense that, you know what I mean. We gotta talk about Glorilla being at the White House for Women's Month. It's too much going on, but before we get into any of that, let's get into this mental health check-in. I am feeling good. It has been a very fast month. March is moving fast for me. I know y'all ain't seen me that much. I've been having a lot going on, girl, the last week. Oh my gosh. The way I was driving all throughout Atlanta trying to get these tags for my car, and only to find out that the person who was doing my emissions test did not plug it into the right thing, had me driving to dealership, to other places, like had me thinking something was wrong with my car, and this man don't know what he doing. So that was going on last week, and that was just like, made me just like, but I'm feeling good now. It has been a fast-paced March. I don't know if y'all, what's going on? I know we lost an hour, but girl, it has been a struggle for me, like getting up in the morning. It has been bad. Like, I am going to sleep on time, but I am waking up at 10 thinking it is 9 o'clock, and I just don't like it. I'm not a morning person. It's been a struggle, and I just need y'all prayer. I just need y'all prayer at this moment. Other than that, it's been a good month. I'm still feeling good. Y'all know, like I said, like it was a lot going on earlier this year, but like, I don't know why I keep talking about that. Y'all done hearing about that, but I'm feeling good. A lot of things are changing for me. I'm getting back being more active. I just went back to the gym last week and I went Sunday as well. So I'm getting back active and trying to just make sure I maintain this good mental health status that I just need to be a better creative and a better person, period. And I just love that for me. So yeah, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get to the tea for today. Let's start off with this Porsha, Simon, and NeNe Leakes situation. So y'all know, I haven't done a King of Reese video in a minute, but Porsha and Simon have been taking swipes at each other. Porsha want her coins, like where my coins at from the prenup, like what's the tea? Simon has a new girl and he been throwing subliminal shots to Porsha on social media and just basically saying that she's a has-been, all this stuff. It's a mess. Now Simon has moved on to this new girl and talking to her, and I don't know if this is one of Porsha's friends. Somebody has said that Simon is treating Porsha like he did with, what's the other girl name that was trying to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Like, this whole relationship, it just does not give me authentic at all. It gives me storyline, to be honest. I love Porsha down. This whole situation with Simon, it just never gave relationship to me. I told y'all that. So I don't know what Simon is doing. Maybe he's trying to get some attention off of this too. I just can't take none of it serious. But what I will take serious is NeNe Leakes taking shots at Porsha. Like, she got and did a whole video talking about she had this opportunity to do this show and she was supposed to be filming it with Porsha, and production pulled NeNe to the side and said, hey, we're hearing that you do not work well with Porsha, so we have to find a replacement. I don't know how you feel about that, And NeNe said she was kind of shocked. She said that she's worked with Porsha before, but they have no issues. and that, you know, she talked to her, she just didn't expect that. So now NeNe Leakes is like, Porsha, what's going on? She don't want to talk to her. She said, girl, I owe you a butt whooping, because NeNe feels like that she almost missed out on an opportunity. And she said that, you know, telling somebody or telling some folks in Hollywood or whatever that you're difficult to work with as a black woman can be a career ender. And I'm like, okay, NeNe, on your Monique stuff, yeah, we get it. We get that. It can definitely be that. But NeNe, I love you down, sister. But this whole situation and how you did Bravo, I do think that you had a legitimate like critique and lawsuit, to be honest. I think some things did happen behind the scenes that you experienced. But I think that how you showed up on this show, you could have just bowed out gracefully. Like, you are dragging them in one moment, and then you kind of groveling to come back on the show, and it just doesn't look good to me. Like, I don't know. Like, NeNe Leakes, the last couple of seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta, she just was not the same person. She was just like, did not want to film, didn't want to show up, didn't want to give it what, you know, she signed up for. You being paid to show up on the show, and you just were being lackluster. Maybe she was being lackluster because the checks and stuff had started to dwindle. But yeah, she went in on Porsha, and Porsha has not responded to it. She hasn't said anything. But NeNe Leakes is just, she's not feeling Porsha at this moment. She just took a picture with Simon and his new girl with her boo thing, and I just thought that was messy as hell. I don't blame NeNe for saying what she said about Porsha and her experience and stuff, but to run and take a picture with Simon and stuff, it's just like, girl, like, what's going on? I can't trust none of y'all folks. I really just cannot. So, I don't know, like, NeNe Leakes going in, I don't know. Like, it's a career ender. NeNe, there is so much stuff going on with your career. I don't necessarily think this is a career ender. I don't know, because we've not seen NeNe Leakes do anything big. Like, she's not been able to do anything big. She's been looking cute on social media in these posts and stuff, but that's about it. I don't know. Like, y'all tell me, I ask you, is it a coincidence? I ask you. Moving on, let's talk about Nicki Minaj and her counseling one of her concerts on this tour. Now, I haven't really talked about this tour that much. I've seen some snippets. They were not horrible, but I really was not impressed. But I had said from the beginning that a tour is extremely exhausting. Like, some of our best artists who are good at tours have talked about how much it has like taken a toll on their body. Beyoncé has been one of those folks who's talked about it. It's been other artists. Like, it takes a lot because you have to perform these sets each and every night. Like, you get probably 2-3 days off, but you have to perform. And Nicki Minaj is just not a performer. She's never been a performer like that. She has her moments, and you can't keep a consistent moment like that going when you are not trained for it. And I don't feel like Nicki Minaj is trained or trained her body. She's lost some weight. She looks thinner, but I don't think she has worked on her endurance and her stamina to be on the stage doing these things. Now, there was some drama where this creator had made a dance or something to one of the songs, and Nicki Minaj and her team offered this person like pennies, period, and the guy did not agree to it, and they went ahead and used the dance on tour, and that was a big conversation. I missed that. How people were responding to this, and folks were saying that Nicki wasn't wrong, it's only a 6-second dance, like, what is it? It doesn't matter if it was a millisecond. If y'all talked to him, y'all had a conversation, y'all did not come to an agreement, then you should have just chopped it off the tour. You should have never used it. Like, you cannot steal, like, y'all are stealing folks' work. Does not matter if he was the one who's responsible for it going viral and he started it, and y'all now doing it on a tour, and y'all met with him to have a conversation about compensation and he did not agree to the compensation, then you should have just took it off. Like, y'all are doing a multi-million tour. Y'all are across the world, allegedly, and y'all are using this dance. Y'all are making money off of it. Y'all could have paid that boy what he was owed. I don't care what it is. folks, like, people, I understand folks do not like creators. They don't like, oh, y'all don't really do anything. Y'all don't, you sit here, you do the TikTok video, da, da, da. It does not matter. That was his work. That's something he came up with. If you're going to use it, you need to pay for it. Because if you did something and somebody took your stuff and made money off it, you will be pissed too. We be online dragging Sheen and other folks who steal black folks' designs. The Kardashians have been responsible for it. But a black person does something and somebody steals their design. This is that same thing. I don't care how y'all look at creators or what their work is not serious or whatever. None of this work is serious until we need to get paid for it, period. We work because we want the coin. Doesn't matter how serious your job is or not. If you are putting in work, you deserve the coin. That's it. I just didn't like some of the response that folks were trying to make and say that, oh, it's not that serious. Y'all just want a reason to hate her and all that other stuff. It's like, no, she met with this person and she stole his work. She did not come to an agreement with him. And her taking it on the tour is theft. I don't care what anybody says, period. So Nicki Minaj's tour was supposed to make a stop in New Orleans and it was canceled and, talked about being rescheduled. I don't see the rescheduling happen. I think it's just gonna go over time and they're just gonna forget about it. But they said that there is not any conversation right now about refunds or anything. And they saying per doctor's orders, Nicki Minaj is not feeling well. She has the flu or whatever. And that is something that should have been in consideration, that there are going to be times where an artist is probably going to be sick. And again, you are charging these folks hundreds or thousands of dollars, to see you perform. You should have had something in place. This is why everybody can't do tours, because stuff like this happens. And Nicki Minaj doing meet and greets. I don't know why Nicki is doing meet and greets. I don't understand why she's doing that. Maybe because she needs a little bit more money. She want to charge her folks. But Nicki Minaj shouldn't have been doing the meet and greets to begin with. It should have been major COVID protocols and stuff for the dancers. I guarantee you none of that stuff is happening because that stuff is expensive. The testing, making sure these folks are getting tested and having people replace them in case. That takes money. And this is where money shows up. Like, this is where the budget shows up. Because if you have a big enough budget, you have stand-ins in case somebody is not able to make it. You take them off and you replace them. Like, you pay these people because things will happen. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of when it will happen. And Nicki Minaj should not have been doing any meet and greets, point blank period, because the chances of her contracting something are increased. Especially if these folks are not wearing masks, there's no protocol, the folks being tested. Like, you are putting yourself in harm's way. So I don't agree. Like, you knew the day before that you were not going to be able to perform. You should have been told these fans that from the beginning. But canceling something a couple of hours before you're supposed to go on is very tacky behavior. I guarantee you this will not be the last one. Some people are arguing that the tour was canceled because of low ticket sales. Folks are responding to that, saying that those are verified resale tickets. I would not be surprised if there was a financial reason why it was canceled. I would not be surprised about that. I think it's going to be other tour dates that are going to be canceled as well, because like I said, I just don't trust Nicki Minaj with this tour. I just do not trust her with this tour, and it just seems very janky. Even the stage and stuff I saw, it just looks very janky and just half done. It doesn't look like somebody who has been in the game as long as Nicki Minaj. This tour should be extravagant. It's giving small venue situation. Speaking of small venues, let's move on, because there has been a lot of conversation about the City Girls, and I might honestly just do a standalone video about them, to be honest, because the City Girls, I don't know what's going on with them. You got JT going on tour and she's stopping at bar and grills and all that other stuff, and then you got Young Miami out here, doing some of the same. She just posted not too long ago a flyer of her going to this club, doing a club walkthrough thing, and they've been in the game for some years now, and having to go back and do this looks quite interesting, for better words. Like, it looks, something don't seem right, and I don't think it's nothing wrong with an artist doing things, small venues and stuff like that. But I think considering how long they've been in the game and them being signed, and also how y'all talk online, how y'all talk in y'all music videos, it's giving coin, it's giving all this stuff. But then y'all sent her tap dancing at the Chili's Bar and Grill for 2 for $20 margarita pizzas. I'm just not understanding. And Young Miami posted and said, it never gave broke. I heard y'all calling me broke. Sister, as much as you talk about money, as much as you be posting pictures on yachts and stuff, and you touring all around with Diddy and stuff, now you having to go talk to the poor folks and do walkthroughs for the poor folks at these small venues to get money. Yes, it's giving poor. You're giving working class. You have to work. And I want y'all to move. I'm gonna do a video about it. I ain't gonna direct them. I'm gonna do a video about it, period. I'm already motivated, period, to do a video. Moving on, yes, Bruno Mars. Let's talk about Bruno Mars since we talking about artists and stuff being in debt. There was a rumor that Bruno Mars was $20 million in debt with MGM, and he had a severe gambling addiction or whatever. Now this story was getting a lot of attention to the point that MGM had to say, hey girl, there's nothing going on. We do not have any of that. I don't know what y'all talking about. All this is false. He do not owe us no $20 million. I don't know if I believe MGM, because what company is gonna come out and say, hey girl, yeah, he do owe us $20 million. They're not gonna do that. Like, they're not gonna talk about that publicly. They ain't gonna say nothing. He probably do owe them for $20 million. I would be surprised, given Bruno Mars and how he be, high as a kite. I would be surprised. I don't know if it's true. I wouldn't bet on it, for lack of better words, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually true. And I just don't trust MGM to come out and say, oh, yeah, girl, yes, he owes us $20 million and he got a payment, of $700,000 every 2 months to make for the next, couple years until he pays the debt off. I just don't see them doing that. I don't see them giving a whole, this just, hey, y'all ain't finna drag homeboy, because we need these payments and stuff. So, child, be looking for him to be dropping some stuff so he can make some money to pay us back, period. So, is he $20 million in debt? Well, we don't know. There's a rumor that Drake is dating Latto's little sister, Brooklyn Nicole. She's light-skinned and she's young, so I'm not really surprised if that is true. And there is a picture that Latto reposted that might hint that they are dating. There was a video of them allegedly leaving this restaurant, and they was like, oh yeah, they dating for real. So this is according to It's Ken Barbie on Twitter, who be having some tea, child. He said, so Drake also gave Brooklyn a little shout out on his remix for a Bats date at 8. What kind of water they serving in Clayco? Oh, girl. What I tell you? So Latto shared a picture. I don't know if it's a repost, but it's a bottle of water, Clayco water. And she said, W Clayco. Girl, child. You know what? And I honestly would not be surprised if it is true. Because we already know how Drake is. Drake is infamous for dating like young light-skinned girls or whatever. Like, he always does that. And he's just corny as hell, so I can see him giving a shout out to her in the music to make her feel good. And then the next month, he'll be dragging her in another song, like the Trash Lover Boy. And you know what? I have a thought of why, he's able to do that and why Latto is playing into it, if it is true, because Latto doesn't want to ruin the chance of her possibly working with Drake and getting music with him. Girl, that's a win for her, to be honest. That's a win for her. And that's just how it works. That man is in a position of power to amplify Latto's career and help her out. And, if it's through her younger sister, it's a fool. So Drake is 16 years older than this girl. She's like 21, 22. She can make her own decisions. She's an adult. She can make her own decisions. But I will say there is a big power imbalance. Drake is a huge star. And this girl, she's young. And Drake could be in a position where he asks for something or suggests stuff. And can she actually consent? Can she say no? When we think about how many folks have dated folks who are on Drake's level, people who have talked about their experiences with dating someone with significant power, they will do things and have been asked to do things and thought about it because it's just like, hey, I have to because this is such and such. I think it's so much nuance to the conversation, but I don't even feel like getting into it. I just don't think Drake needs to be talking to her point blank, period. Let's move on. Let's talk about Beyoncé. Beyoncé Cowboy Carter album coming out this month. She just dropped a picture of the album artwork, and it is her on a horse, and she is in this outfit that's given red, white, and blue. And she is holding the American flag, and she posted on Instagram. She had a post because folks was trying to say, you know, this is a country album, and Beyonce, no girl, this is a Beyonce album. Today marks the 10-day countdown into the release of Act 2. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of the supporters of Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. I feel honored to be the first black woman with the #1 single on the Hot Country Songs chart. That would not have happened without the outpouring of support from each and every one of you. My hope is that years from now, the mention of artist race as it relates to releasing genres of music will be irrelevant. The album has been over 5 years in the making. It was born out of an experience that I had years ago where I did not feel welcome, and it was very clear that I wasn't. But because of that experience, I did a deeper dive into history of country music and studied our rich musical archive. It feels good to see how music can unite so many people around the world, but also amplifying the voices of some of the people who have dedicated so much of their lives educating on our musical history. The criticisms I have faced when I first entered this genre forced me to propel past the limitations that were put on me. Act 2 is a result of challenging myself and taking my time to bend and blend genres together to create this body of work. I have a few surprises on the album and have collaborated with some brilliant artists who I deeply respect. I hope that you can hear my heart and soul and all of the love and passion I poured into every detail and every sound. I focus on this album as a continuation of Renaissance. I hope this music is an experience, creating another journey where you can close your eyes, start from the beginning, and never stop. This ain't a country album. This is a Beyonce album. This is Act 2, Cowboy Carter, and I am proud to share it with y'all. I love this message. I really do love this message, and I'm not surprised that Beyonce did the work and did the research of acknowledging, you know, all of the things about country before working on this album. I believe it. I believe she had a whole team helping her with this because that's just who she is, and she did the work. Y'all already know I'm not a big country fan. I'm not interested in this album, but I will say, listening to her message, reading her message, I think the moment she's referencing, a lot of folks have, you know, said that this was the CMA Awards where she performed with the Dixie Chicks and stuff. And someone even tweeted and said that they were there, and there was some white person who said, "What is this black doing here? Get her off the stage." And Beyonce said she did not feel welcome. And I think it was that moment. And she said, "Girl, I'm finna show y'all. So I don't blame her. The issue that I have with this type of stuff is if we are using moments like this to like educate folks and like, hey girl, y'all, like I experienced this racism or whatever, because that's exactly what it is. This is political. This is Beyonce being political, because people want to say that artists, you know, don't have to be political. This is political. She's responding to the racism that she experienced at the CMAs, the Country Music Awards. This is a direct response to that. And in that, Beyonce is responding to the, you know, stuff that she experienced, the terrible stuff that she experienced with folks, you know, saying that she probably did hear that, but she's now able to profit off of it. She's able to turn this into, I'm making money off of this. Like, look, I'm doing this, but she's also making money off of it. And I think that is the thing that kind of confuses me, because she wants to be unpolitical with certain things. She doesn't want to take a stance on certain stuff until it benefits her. And I feel like this is one of those moments where this benefits you. You don't lose anything. You don't lose anything coming at these folks. You don't even name that it's the CMAs. You could just say, girl, they treated me like the CMAs, and I ain't like how the white folks responded to me. I would love had you, like, this soft stuff that y'all giving me is not enough. It's not enough. Y'all really want to inspire change and shake it up? Do it. Even this picture, this image of her holding this flag, I think there is a message of a reason why the flag is not shown. Like, you can barely see the flag. Like, I'm American, but I ain't too happy to be a proud American. We could have just left the flag out of there, period. You could have just did a version of another flag. Could have made your own flag. Could have been something else. I think this was a missed opportunity. Yes, we see the red, white, and blue. Cowboy Carter, all of that. Like this picture, this image is being compared to Napoleon. And that's a chop for me. I think we need to go back to the drawing board. We could have did a better image than this. I think she looks amazing on the picture. I think the photographer really did a good job. But there's so many missed messages in this. Oh God, I'm tired of the fake representation, fake clapback. I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. And I'm tired of being used as a pun for these rich folks games and stuff. Like, oh, these white folks disrespect me, so I'm gonna make a country album and, you know, prove. What are we proving? Like, what are we proving? Like, what is the proof? Like, what is going on? Because what? Name these folks, call them out. Like, just say, like, stop playing these games. Say, when I went to the CMAs, the way them white folks talked about me in the crowd and audience, baby, made me want to come in here and get into my bag, period, because black folks run country. That's what I want. And I'm not wrong for wanting that. I think a lot of people do want this. I'm just tired of this pussyfooting around what is going on. Like, y'all are scared to just say something. Y'all have all of the political power, y'all have all the money, but y'all are scared of losing it. So with that, you trying to say something, you're not really saying shit, to be honest, because you still are playing just enough to not be disrespected, because y'all are not willing to sacrifice anything, even when y'all have more than enough. And I think that says something. I'm not gonna do a whole in the middle episode about this right now, because I know other folks who have even more of a range to discuss this, and I've been seeing the discussion online. And before folks start coming in and saying, well, she doesn't have to do that, she doesn't owe it to you all, and because I know that's the first thing folks gonna say, she don't owe y'all anything, and you know, Outkast, you know, had a flag and their stuff, and the other artists had, black artists had their flag in front of, you know, their covers and all the other stuff. And I think people are forgetting that Beyonce put herself in this predicament by co-opting Black Panther aesthetic for the last couple of years. Her and Jay-Z speak so much of being like these freedom folks and all that. Even going back to the Carter's album where Jay-Z says, I free the people. That's how Meek got his freedom. Like, y'all want to be these people who are speaking for Black liberation. And it's very touch and go, because y'all not really speaking on nothing, to be honest. The stuff y'all doing is very watered down, and it just puts more money in y'all pocket. It is just hard for me to take any of this serious, to be honest. And this is just not giving. It's just not giving for me. But it is what it is. Representation, yay, to glory be to God. Speaking of glory in God, let's talk about Glorilla at the White House. Girl, Glorilla took a, Joe. She took a video of her and Joe Biden. We know it's election season. And Joe. And Joe just looks so confused. He looks so confused, have no idea what's going on. And she was there to celebrate Women's History Month, all of that. Yes, the way the White House specifically picks people like Glorilla and other rappers and stuff to be in these spaces, because these are folks who are not going to hold them accountable. These people do not have any political stance to challenge Joe Biden on how he is continuously supporting what is happening in Palestine right now. These people who are being put in these spaces are being used as pawns to make these folks' image look better. Glorilla being next to Joe Biden, for a lot of folks will, oh, he must be cool. We might think that it doesn't affect us like that, or we too smart for that, but a lot of folks do fall for it like that. The psychology around that association with somebody that we appreciate, an artist, that goes a long way, and it still works. We are happy for Glorilla in this moment, But again, like I said in my previous video, we're happy for her being at the White House. And what does that mean? Like what, you know, her being black and being at the White House, even as ratchet or whatever as she is, and she's at the White House and she's still performing some level of respectability, period. Because she's not challenging Joe Biden or anything. She's happy to be next to him and post a picture. And we are engaging and consuming it. That's all I got, y'all. I know I talked my butt off. Tell me what y'all thought about all the topics today. Let me know in the comments. Honey, I cannot wait to see what y'all got to say about this Beyonce album cover. I know y'all are probably saying, you're reaching, you're a hater and all that other stuff. If some folks are like, girl, you're making a lot of sense. Let me know what you feel in the comments, respectfully, and I'll talk y'all later. Bye.